So we are again live. This is the third time lucky, and I will apologise and explain that in a short while. We now know for the future, because Siobhan's going to ask me some simple questions, and I'm going to know what they are. But for the meantime, let me just double check that you are hearing my voice, as indeed you should. So this theoretically should now be live streaming, and probably thinking, oh, am I going to give up on this because he's messed this up so many times?
Yep.
Well, stand by. Can you say hello, Blind Girl Vlogs?
Hello, guys. I'm so sorry about this.
You can come back off the microphone a bit.
Oh.
Can we start with an explanation? Oh my God, yes. Shall I explain what happened?
Go and then quickly explain what happened.
Okay. Two things happened. In the first instance, I didn't need to turn you off. You can come off the mic a bit.
Okay. So, shall I come back? Is that okay?
I'm sure you're fine. In the first instance, I was connected to the wrong Wi-Fi network, which was slow. And in the second instance, I very quickly got straight back. And I thought, oh, well, I have to do something about this. And I went live without connecting to the sound to the camera. So, take 3, third time lucky. Red your rumble in the jungle. Only the third attempt. Blind Girl Vlog. You seen the theme yet?
Hopefully, third time lucky. Warm welcome, guys. Come and join me in my office room. For those of you who have blindly stumbled across this live stream, hi, I am Blind Girl Vlogs. My name is actually Siobhan. Call me what you wish. And I set up this channel to raise awareness and educate people on blindness, and specifically how I live my life as someone who is totally blind. So I have a guide dog. He is my third guide dog. His name is Marty, and he is absolutely adorable. That's the dog, of course. And like I say, this channel really is a mixture of things, all things blind related. So travel videos, you can expect humorous ones. We've done, 3 things blind people never do, which is absolutely hilarious. Well, I think so. And we've done one on Borough Market, which is the oldest food market here in the UK in London. And so we do all sorts of things here. We keep it interesting. At the moment we're in lockdown, and it's a little bit hard to kind of do those interesting things, but creative content is coming up. So my eye conditions, I've got a myriad of eye conditions. I'm greedy. So I have nystagmus, I have glaucoma, which is high eye pressure. Thankfully I don't have that anymore because I had my eyes removed. I've got 2 prosthetic eyes, and if you don't believe me and don't believe I'm blind, go and check out the video where I actually take out my eyes. And I have optic nerve deficiency. But without all of that, if that sounds interesting, do hit the subscribe button, because it does help support this channel. And the more people that subscribe, it's not about my delicate ego and massaging any of that, I promise. It's about spreading more awareness. YouTube algorithms like that, so they push it out, and many more people can hear about what blindness is all about. So do hit the subscribe button, share the love, and put any comments in the comment section. Go on, ask those questions.
They've already started, Siobhan. I can tell you white and lots of numbers, but they're too long for me to remember. First he says hello, and then asks, when did you start this channel?
Actually, that's a really good question. So I opened this channel, I started it back in 2012, but I didn't really start creating content until 2016. That's when I really started thinking, I really want to do more about blindness and start raising awareness, because as I was growing up, I never really had it. So I wanted to be that place and that platform where people can come and ask questions and just follow my life really and see what I get up to. So really 2016 is when I started.
Excellent. Well, Footy Nut Guy says you were a bit overmodulated because a bit of a sound engineer on the quiet is Footy Nut Guy. But he is right, you were, and you are sorted.
Is it better now?
Yeah, no, you're great. You're sorted. Now, I think this is Ruby, but Franny Wyatt says, hi. Hey, Ruby.
Hi, Rubes. That's my little niece, by the way, and she's adorable. I can't wait to see her.
So I think for Ruby, can I get a higher? You need to respond and say,
Hi.
you know, it's hi.
Hi. Okay.
Should we do that again? Ruby, I'll ask her again. Can I get a hi?
Hi.
Yeah, it's not bad, but you need to go, ah. No.
No.
Hi.
Hi.
Right, this really is about blindness and vision
Yes,
impairment,
it is,
by the
honestly.
way. So we've got
Just-
Footy Nut Guys just commented, and he says, is that 1 minute? Is that sassy? Oh, is White? I don't think so.
No, not Sassy White. No.
No, Francesca Wyatt. Okay, yeah. So you can tell Sassy White because she uses either the name Sassy and White,
Yeah.
which is spelt and sounds different,
But
or she uses Thinking Out Loud, and it's a great channel.
Yeah, go check her out.
Yeah.
There's some great people here doing all sorts of things, talking about all things blind related. And remember, blindness is a spectrum. And
I thought that was a computer.
I think it's important that, you know, just because there are lots of blind people, we all do things differently. So we're not all the same. We're not all Braille readers. We're not large print readers. You know, we all do things differently.
I have to say Franny, but I think it's Ruby says hi.
So the theme of this live stream was we're going to be talking and discussing about IT after sight loss. Now, it can be quite a daunting concept of thinking, wow, where do I begin? Where do I look? What do I need in terms of technology? What do I start with? And let's wind it back to when I was about 12 years old. I thought I was really, really cool because my mum, she brought me a electric typewriter. Don't laugh. I mean, that was only a few years ago when I was 12. No, I'm joking.
Sorry, it wasn't really that funny.
I wasn't able to read the print on it, but I just thought I was the cool kid with the electric typewriter, and I was able to submit my work that actually teachers read because my handwriting was appalling. So my sight up until the age of 16 was very, very limited. I lost all of my sight at 16, and that's a video that I've done here on this channel. So if you're new, please go and check that one out because I talk about how I lost my sight.
There you go, White. There's the answer to the question you asked.
What's that?
White asked how old you were, but there's the answer.
Yeah. I'm 37, but I lost all of my sight at 16. And like I say, I thought I was the cool kid because I had an electric typewriter. So that's when technology really started for me, was having that to kind of like put all my work into the teachers, so they could actually read what my work was, any of my coursework and that sort of thing. So I started with that, and then I was trained up using Supernova at first, which is another speech software system, and actually it was quite helpful because I really struggled to look at a screen. Remember, I had very limited vision, so looking at a screen for any period of time was really, really tricky, and it gave me a lot of headaches, and I just wasn't able to get on with my schoolwork, and I was getting behind. So the voice activation on there and being able to listen back to my work and to be able to hear what the teachers were sending me, I could actually do a lot more. So Sean, I'm just going to throw it out to you now, Sean. What did you have and how did you really start off with technology?
I was never able to read my own handwriting when I had the poor sight that I had growing up. The best sight I had was 15% acuity and very limited field of vision. And so consequently, things like reading a board wasn't really an option for me. I could see that there was a board there, but I don't think that really... I don't think that really helped.
On it, yeah.
I could see there was a board there if I was sitting in the front row. So I was super special, and I had teaching assistants and stuff. You've got to poke fun at yourself. So we tried all sorts of great big, huge, thick black felt pens.
Yes,
and I had a stencil board, like an easel thing.
Yes.
And they thought it would be good rather than my face being pressed against the table. which is fine because it just meant my face was pressed right against the easel instead. I did have a Canon, I think it might have been called a WordStar actually, but it was an electric typewriter. What you're supposed to do is write what you were doing line by line. When you hit return carriage, it would go.
Yeah, it would, and then go back. Yeah.
But I couldn't see what was there, and it didn't print it big enough that I could see it at that point in life either.
No.
But you know, the teachers could read my handwriting, which was both good because they could read my handwriting and bad because they could read my handwriting because it was typed. Then I had first laptop I had was a 386 Toshiba laptop. And I have to tell you, my Senko, as they were called, Special Educational Needs Coordinator. I won't name him, but I'd be happy doing it because it's all documented. But he stole my laptop.
Whoa.
Really, he stole my laptop. So at the time, I was
Terrible.
using very. So I was 14 till I lost the functional sight that I had. So at this point, I would have been about 12.
Yeah.
I had it for a few months, and the screen, there was a bulb gone in the back, and then it meant I really couldn't see anything at all. So he said, "Oh, I'll send off and get it fixed." Oh, that can take up to 2 or 3 months, which sounded incredible then, and indeed it was. It came back 3 weeks later or so, I later found out.
Yeah.
And they basically had hold of it for 2 years. And the only reason I found out that he personally had it was twofold. I moved schools, another SEN coordinator had it. They found all his gas bills on there, which was horrendous. So no, sorry, this is a major thing, isn't it? Which isn't the point of this vlog, but it's horrendous. Look, I'm going to pick up back on me in a moment. I'm just going to answer. So Footy Nut Guy asks, what camera are you using? Footy Nut Guy, I'm going to tell you, but could you guess what camera it is? What camera do you think? I'll look through the comments and I'll carry on answering. 1 minute.
Okay, so yeah. So I will keep talking. So when I was using the electric typewriter, I was actually having lessons of how to touch type. And this was crucial for me because obviously I wasn't able to see the keyboard letters. So therefore, I really needed to start to learn where the keys were on the keyboard so I could actually be fluent in taking notes and doing my work without really struggling finding the key. So I actually had lessons of how to touch type. So I remember the keyboard like the back of my hand because I touch type now and I can type up to about 120 words a minute.
I can type faster than that, but I start making mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm standing up.
So without making.
Why do you make that noise when you stand up when you're over 30?
I don't know. So for me, it was really, really important that I actually had these lessons. And I was very young and, you know, I really wanted to learn and to crack on. So for me, it was starting off with the electric typewriter, having those lessons of how to touch type. And then it really increased with the voiceover and not voiceover, well, you know, speak activation with Supernova. And then it developed into JAWS. And then I started using various different computers and that sort of thing. So for me, it was really from the age of 12 that I started with technology and making sure, well, I had everything I needed and having those lessons in, you know, in making sure that I was able to access all of the equipment that I needed. And now I also, you know, use a laptop, I use a computer, I use smartphone, and I'm going to hold this up. I have a Braille device, which is Braille Display, and it's called a Vario Ultra. I won't get into all of the technical details because, you know, it might not be interesting, but this is where I can connect it to my phone. So I'm able to read Braille, which is great because when you're in a meeting, listening to speech can be really off-putting, and I want to be able to follow what people are talking about. So now I'm talking about the work solutions. For me as a Braille user, I think it's really important not only to keep Braille alive, but to have those different abilities to be able to do that sort of thing. And at school, I had something called a Eureka. Which was really, really cool. And that was like, you know, that was a Braille keyboard, but it didn't have a Braille display. And Siobhan is clicking at me, so I'm not.
Oh no, I was indeed. Don't worry, that was for the dogs. I'm over here.
So there are so many different things that you could potentially get. It really depends, but I suppose making sure that you just have the basics in terms of like now and recent sight loss. There are so many different sorts of things in terms of technologies. that can be useful, from the most basic of technology to kind of like smartphones like the iPhone or Android.
You're tuned to Blind Girl Vlogs. We're going to get back to IT and technology in a moment. Are you watching this and you're not subscribed? Do us a favor. You'd be doing a solid to Siobhan if you can hit subscribe, not just to up her subscriber count, but the more subscribers, the more people see it because of the YouTube algorithms. We've got a couple of questions. For a start, Footy Nut Guy thinks we are filming this on an iPhone. No, have another guess, Footy Nut Guy. Steve, have another guess. We'll let you know. I don't think an iPhone would get this result, if I'm totally honest, but who knows? Otherwise, I could have saved myself a few grand on that one. What else? Then we've got White. White, what's your actual name? Because I don't really want to call you White. It sounds odd, so forgive me. Asks what you think about when you sleep. And Sightless Hero says hello.
Hi.
And also, Kay popped on to say that they've come with Declan to show support, but
that's
Declan
so
needs to sleep. So,
hi Declan, giving you a massive thumbs up, buddy. Hope
can
you're doing well.
Declan get a higher?
Higher.
No, it needs to be higher.
Hi, I'm waving to you, Declan.
She's not going to do it, is she? Hey, Declan.
Now you're going to have to go to sleep and be a good boy.
Yes. So, yeah.
Thanks for popping on, Kay.
But anyway, so look, keep the questions coming, guys. I'm trying to keep up with them.
Okay, so
what's your real name? But you were sorry, say again.
When I sleep, I think
when you sleep, yes. What do you see or think about?
Okay, so this is a really interesting one. So obviously, up until the age I was 16, I had a very limited vision, and I've answered this. I've done a video on what I dream and what I think, but I actually see when I'm asleep, and it's because I think I had some sight when I was younger, and I was able to kind of put some images together, and that's what I dream. That's what I remember. I don't remember like last year because I didn't see anything like last year. So I'm really going on those memories of when I was growing up. So when I dream, I actually see in vision and color. And yeah, and that's why I love to sleep, because I kind of get a lot of enjoyment from my dreams, if that makes any sense at all, because I actually get the images. For example, and I've given this example before because it's probably the simplest one. So I imagine a police officer wearing the tunics that they wore back in the 90s when I actually had some vision, because that's what they wore.
And you think of an American football hero and you see O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, and nowadays here in the UK, their uniforms have changed a lot. So yeah, that's my answer.
You made Declan smile. By the way,
yay!
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the options on IT, because that's the theme of this. Get your questions below. Subscribe if you're watching. Tell people about this channel. It's not just about tonight, but there's all sorts of things like what's the difference between a long cane and a guide dog. Please do subscribe. So Footy Nut Guy, Steve, has asked two questions, actually. He said, if it's not an iPhone, it's an SLR. It's not an SLR. That's a single lens reflex camera. It's a mirrorless one. It is a Panasonic Lumix S5 full frame
we got that one.
camera through a capture card. In the meantime, he asks if you've got a Braille display you can show. Look, I think we're going to do a whole...
Yes.
You can hold it up, but I think we're going to do a whole one on Braille displays at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So I've... this is the Vario Ultra. It's a 40 cell. And I love this because the Braille just feels... premium. It's supreme. I love it. And actually when you're typing on it, it's very quiet. So for me, obviously working in an office, I say working in an office pre-COVID, of course, it was very quiet on the keys. So then I'm not going to be irritating people when I'm taking notes, like tap, tap, tap. But also I've got a Brilliant here, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really good, but it's not as good as the Vario Ultra. But I will do another one. And now this is just a 14 cell. So it's very small. If I hold this up.
There's nothing wrong with small things.
It's a lot smaller. But this one, I like to kind of like tether to my phone, and I can kind of like quickly write notes and people's numbers on it. So it's a lot more portable. So again, it really depends on what you want different devices for. Now, I mean, I've got so many different technology devices. I do love the ability to be able to have my technology. But the biggest thing for me, I think, is my iPhone. Now, my iPhone comes everywhere with me. I can do so much on it. I can reply to emails. I can FaceTime my friends. I can do YouTube. I can do videos. I can go on Facebook and social media. I mean, take notes. It's a mini computer in itself, which I absolutely love. And if I was 20 years back and I had an iPhone when I was at school, I think it would have been a lot better, because do you know what?
I don't think so. You'd have done no work. You're naughty.
Yes, I would. But back in the day, actually, I'm going to get my Brailler. This is what we would. Oh, actually,
you move. You're messing it up with autofocus, so I'll have to have another play.
Good. That's fine. But this Braille machine,
Perkins Brailler
is what I would carry around when I was at school. So you can definitely see how big and clunky it is compared to these smaller devices.
Nothing wrong with anything that's big and clunky.
No, there's not. So again, it really depends on people's sight loss, depends on where they are in their journey, what they really want to use technology for. But
can I just point out that if you hold it up again, Perkins Brailler, you think, crikey, when did you go to school? The 1950s.
I know.
And the reason, if you were in school now and you had one of those, it's identical. It's the same as the new ones.
It is.
So it's a 1950s design. So do you want to put Billy the Brailler down?
But they're lethal, though. Can you imagine lots of blind and visually impaired children walking along and just whacking each other? No, we didn't really whack each other, but I'm going to put it down on the floor. Ooh.
Yeah, no, so Franny, and I think Ruby, is asking, now I'm sure she's got a reason for phrasing it this way. So the camera's sort of over here.
Okay.
And I'm just listening in my ear. So she's saying, how do you see people?
How do I see people? Okay, so I don't see anyone now because obviously I have no sight. But up until I was 16, I saw like an outline of people. So it was so if you did a drawing of a person without colouring them in, that's what I would see. I would see the outline. I wouldn't see any details. But now in my mind, I can remember what my mum looked like 20 odd years ago. So she would love me because I just remember her being, young. I'm going to say, shh, don't tell her, Rubes, okay? I'm not calling her old. And I remember your mum.
You can call her old. She won't hear you. Her hearing's failing at this point. No, I'm joking.
I remember your mum when she was a little baby. And she looked beautiful, because I can remember vaguely, but I don't remember seeing Eddie, which is my brother. I don't remember seeing him. So I just remember people up until the age of 16, before I lost all of my sight. I just remember what they looked like then. So they're going to love me because I just have this memory.
So there's no wrinkles.
No wrinkles.
Your visual memory is better than oil of Ulay.
Yeah. So
blindness, you want it.
So I just imagine people what they looked like back then.
Yeah. In the meantime, Footy Nut Guy said he forgot they were called Perkins Braillers.
Yeah.
Massive though. I'm not sure if that's a boast about something else.
They're huge.
And there's another one.
So heavy as well.
He says. Right. 1 second. When you were in school.
Yeah.
Did they use the Brailler? And I don't really understand. Sorry. I think it's in cases or something. Forgive me, Footy Nut Guy. I'm just listening in.
Oh yes, they did have the big cases, but often we would just carry the Perkins Brailler on their own.
That's true, and even the cases, the ones I had, I know they did
really
the padded
big
ones, but they weren't. They were just cloth.
Oh really? So I used to have the big hard cases.
Yeah.
That it was in. But can you imagine? We had because I went to a specialist school for children who were blind and visually impaired from the age of 10 years old. And there were quite a lot of Braillists. So all you could hear was like people, children brailing at different speeds, and it was deafening. So yeah, just imagine just a manual braillers going at all different speeds.
1,000 blinds at 1,000 Perkins Braillers would write the whole works of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So they say. Listen, you're tuned to Footy Nut Guy. Ruby is here. She says, no, you're not tuned to Footy Nut Guy. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He's so prominent. He does good stuff on the channel. You're tuned to Footy Nut Guy. Can I try that again?
What?
You're very welcome. I just said you're tuned to Footy Nut Guy. Sorry. You're tuned to Blind Girl Vlogs. It's because I was listening at the same time. Sorry. Big shout out, though. We're doing all right. We've got about 10 people watching, which is pretty
great.
good.
Welcome. Come and join me in
so
my office.
Ruby says, okay, my mummy Right, so it's doing her bows.
Oh yeah.
Her bows. What's that?
Yeah.
Her toes?
So yeah. My sister Franny, she's doing like making like hair bands and people.
Oh, bows.
Yeah, bows like hair bands, and she can like put any design on them. She can put Daddy's little girl, and you know you can choose your own design. So
Right.
yeah, it's amazing. I haven't seen them, but I haven't felt them. But when I go down to Ellsbury, I'm going to have a look because I want to get some, and I'll wear some for. I'll put some on for this channel.
Right. So
do my hair, like hair bands and stuff like that.
We will quite shortly return to some IT options, but we just want to talk about how we can misuse some technology. I found a fantastic trick. Can I show you one first, and then?
Oh, what, my phone?
Oh no, maybe I won't do mine.
Actually, should I do that?
Yeah, ask.
Okay.
I renamed her nickname on there, so when she asks her the name of what she's called, go for it.
So Sean was
I've explained. Just ask it.
Very naughty. Okay, let's do this. Okay.
The mic.
What is my nickname?
You might need to try that again.
Oh.
Is your voiceover on?
What is my nickname?
I'll try it again.
What is my nickname? Doesn't like it.
Really? I know what it is.
Hold on.
You need to turn it up and ask it again.
What is my nickname? Hey Siri, what is my nickname?
What is
my name?
What is my name? Listen. What is my message? Video.
One more time.
Contacts. Edit.
Okay, let's try it again. It's not.
You're not on mute, are you? This is worth it, everybody.
What is my nickname?
Why don't you restart that and we'll move on and try it again shortly.
Hold on. Okay.
So, Steve, Fitting Like Guy says he's going to see if his what is it? Sorry, stand by.
What is my nickname?
If cabin must be camera, we'll let him steam with it.
No, it doesn't want to work. Obviously, it's really rude because
it's not.
Okay, so what is it then?
Do you want to whack it to me?
Go on then.
Go on, give me the phone. Oh, I can't. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Right, I'm going to refocus you a minute. So just bear with me. Well, let's try. What's the time? Right, your phone's actually not
Switch off.
Talking.
I just did that. Speech off and speech on.
Let me just 1 second.
It's not working at all.
No, 1 second. Let me try. 1 second. Let me try this. What's my name? I'm going to restart your phone as we chat away. Right. So, IT after sight loss. That's the topic. Sorry about that little diversion. It's not like it's live or anything. Oh, damn, it is. These days, I would say you largely want to have a look at. I mean, you can speak to social services sensory department, sensory support. You could speak to guide dogs. Actually, the charity Guide Dogs. You could speak to RNIB, and they'll tell you. But you can, for instance, use phone technology or iPads, and I wish that was about when I was younger, or you can use a PC or an Apple Mac. But broadly speaking, so the way I learned is that I had lessons on how to use the screen reader. How about you, Siobhan?
Yeah, I did as well. So Supernova, I learned how to use Supernova, and then JAWS came on the scene, and we started using JAWS. And I remember, as a young teenager, going into my lessons, learning JAWS, learning the shortcut keys of how to use JAWS, and now I love JAWS. I mean, I'm just JAWS through and through, and that's what I use on my work laptop. That's what I use on my Surface Pro. It sounds like I've got so much.
There are open source ones available. Listen, I'm going to just try and ask one. This is Siobhan's phone. What is my name? No, hang on a minute. It's not going to do this, is it? Let me turn your thing off one more time, one last time. What is my nickname? I'm going to have to just do it the other way.
A total control freak, but a very pretty one who needs to give her husband a cuddle because he is fantastic, isn't he? Siobhan Mead. Nickname.
What?
A
Slow
very-
it down, though.
A total control freak.
Slow
A
it
very
down.
pretty woman who needs to give her husband a cuddle because he's fantastic, isn't he? That's what it
Why
is.
don't you slow it down? Because I don't believe
So I don't
you.
know what's up there. Okay. Oh, wait, what's that? I'm going to wait till your phone. Where are you?
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay.
Yeah, so I did have lessons to learn how to use it. But yeah, I would definitely echo Sean's advice, especially here in the UK. There are so many different charities to reach out to in terms of technology, guide dogs and the RNOB. And I believe Thomas Pocklington Trust. And there are just so many different ones because obviously everyone's going to be different and have different needs and requirements. And there may be things out there that I don't necessarily know about that might be more beneficial to you than me. But they can then point you and signpost you to various different technology companies and things that might be more of use. And actually Sight Village is coming up soon, and they have lots of different sorts of things that you can get involved in with regards to technology, simple things like that. So Sight Village, definitely Google that, because I think they're doing it live on YouTube. Yeah, definitely check them out and Google that.
Patrick is from the Mediterranean. He was white, was his name on there.
Hi Patrick.
And Patrick asks, do you think people take their vision for granted generally?
Do you know what? Actually, that's a really good question, because it was something that I was reflecting on earlier, talking to Sean and saying, wouldn't it be so good if we could just jump in a car and go down to the shops and get our shopping and come back? And then we were standing waiting to try and get into this particular place. Costco it was actually, and there was just loads of people, queues, and I just thought, and I just felt kind of really morbid. And it's not like me, but yeah, I was like, I wish I could see. I wish I could just, have something that was just easy, But yes, I do. I do think people take their sight for granted. There are so many things that people just don't think about each day, like the small things, making a cup of tea, or even if your computer crashes or something like that, you have to rely on maybe someone to FaceTime, and if they're available to help you sort that out. So yeah, I definitely do think people take it for granted. So
Samuel E asks if you remember what you could see. You sort of answered this, but it's worth doing. Do you remember what you could see when you could see? And asks another question. What are your favorite apps to use? So the sight question first.
Yes. So I lost my sight at 16, and before that I had very limited sight. So I could make out some colors and the outline of people. I never could actually see detail. So just imagine if you drew an outline of a person or a tree. That's what I would see.
I mean, I could sing a rainbow, but I don't think I could ever see a rainbow. Yeah. Red and orange and pink and blue.
So basically, I remember things from the early 90s of what things looked like. I try my very hardest, and I did try to remember what things looked like, but over time, over 20 years, it's over 20 years ago now, I lost my sight. So having that memory is, it has gone somewhat. So yeah, I do find it quite hard to remember everything, but yeah.
If you woke up tomorrow, I mean, this biologically, Patrick, I'm going to tell you this is an impossibility, but if you woke up tomorrow with full vision, how incredible would you feel, and what would you do?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so...
Doctor, my eyes have grown back. No, sorry, but the answer to that is...
Sorry, say it again. You put me off. I can't remember the question now. Okay.
I'd say, how can you see from your prosthetic eye? No, but serious question.
Right.
What would you do? I mean, I'd learn to drive.
I would learn to drive. And one thing I would do is I'll go around and see my family, because I want to see what they all look like. That's what I'd love to be able to do. I'd love to drive, see what my family look like, and nature. That's the three things. I know it probably sounds really trivial, but I'd love to be able to see a tree I'd love
to be able to see a tree rather than that one that we did.
Mountains and colors and the contrast. It would just be, yeah, that's what I would.
All right, fair enough. There's nothing wrong with a Trivial Pursuit. Rather than, as I say, the video we did with you hugging a tree.
Oh, yeah.
Right, keep your questions coming. I'm going to insert a rubbish joke here, by the way, and then get back to some IT, just for a bit of variety. If you're watching and you don't subscribe, have a word with yourself. Give a subscribe now. Support the content is much appreciated. So I went to the doctor the other day. This is a joke I should point out. I went to the doctor the other day. I said, "Doctor, I think my wife might be deaf." He said, "What?" I said, "I think my wife might be deaf." He said, "Wow, funny you say that. I've got just the solution." I said, "Oh, what do we have to do? An operation?" He said, "No, I've got some pills." I said, "All right, can I take them home?" "Well, no, not until you do a test for me." So I said, "Okay, I'll do the test." So I came home. I did exactly what the doctor said. I went 40 feet away from Siobhan and I said, "Darling, what's for dinner?" Nothing. Nothing at all. So I walked 20 feet away and I said, "Darling, what's for dinner tonight?" Nothing at all. 10 feet away. Nothing at all. 5 feet away. She said, "For the fourth flipping time, fish." Another joke soon.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. IT question. You're just tuned in. We've got other people joining us now. This is Siobhan Blind Girl Vlogs live stream. You can ask anything about blindness, but we're talking about sight loss and IT. So what do you do if you've had full sight and you're suddenly in a position when you need to use technology and you don't really know what you're doing? I would say have a look at some kind of accessible smartphone as a first step, such as an iPhone. If it floats your boat, an Android, but I won't lie, an iPhone definitely to me gets better accessibility results. Siobhan.
There are just so many different things out there. I can't remember all their specific models, but there are loads of different companies out there doing different things in terms of accessibility and smartphones. Now, depending on the person and what they want to use it for, you can have a really basic model that would just speak the numbers to you. And you can just literally press a button and ask it to ring a family member or a friend and those sorts of things. But like I say, for me, I would recommend just Googling charities that might be able to assist you with technology, because we actually do have people that can support you. We have, especially at Guide Dogs, we have tech people that can support with technology and maybe signpost you to the RNIB, who might be able to come round and offer some assistance in how to use technology. So there are so many different things out there depending on your own specific needs and requirements, but definitely touch base with some of the big charities, and also your local vision loss charities if they're any good, of course.
Well, yeah, I would say certainly have a chat to Sensory Services, have a chat the big charities, and do a bit of asking about. Just ask people, the service users, do they understand vision impairment? Most do, but you'd be surprised that not all. In the meantime, however, the questions, they keep rolling in. Footy Nut Guy asks whether I had the Tony Blackburn book of jokes. I've never heard Tony tell that particular joke. Reminds me of an old advert though, and it was I can't remember what it was for. But it was Tony Blackburn. So, right, we've just had a call from Marie and Tooting, and she'd like to go to Greenwich, because he was actually in a minicab office. We've got another one here from, you've got stand by, from Patrick. Cool. Who wants to know? When people sort of complain about problems, do you ever think to tell them to be more grateful? Not really, I would say. What do you think?
I
wouldn't. If somebody said, "Oh, blooming cracks in the road," I wouldn't say you should try being blind.
Sometimes I do feel feel like that inside, but I would never say it. Obviously they might be having a really bad day.
When people complain about their car being in the garage and being without a car for 2 days.
Yeah, or not even that, or sitting in a traffic jam for 5 minutes and it's taken them, 5 minutes extra to get into work. I just think, wow.
You once said to someone, "I'd love to be sitting in traffic about to wet myself."
Sometimes I do think, I do think along those lines, but at the end of the day, I never say it because I don't want to come across as rude or bitter. Bitter blind. I don't want to do that. But I know where you're coming from, and I tend to agree. Actually, it just I always think, actually, when I lost my sight, it was a very tough year for me. But actually, moving on, I feel like I've achieved a lot.
Still not learned to drive there, have you?
Still haven't learned to drive.
Yeah, I mean, what's that
They're
about?
discriminating against me because I can't see.
Oh, I so wish you could squeeze Ted's hand twice that's in front of you.
No. Very, very naughty. We're not having any of that.
So the questions I keep coming, do again tell people about this channel. Siobhan, have you got any questions for me? And I'll have a look at these questions coming here.
Have I got any questions for you? Okay, I suppose this is going to depend, but okay. Which is your favorite piece of technology and why?
I've got so much good technology. I mean, I love my iPhone's the most important one, but we're here with not an iPhone footy nut guy. We're here with a full frame camera on proper professional sticks, professional sound kit. To the side of the screen, I'm going to cough, by the way. Excuse me. There's a professional lighting kit. You've got a proper voicing mic there, so it's not an iPhone. It's a $4,000 live stream kit. There we go. So I've got all sorts, and that's ignoring the laptop. But no, my iPhone's definitely the biggest thing. So I've got a question that sort of belongs out of extras.
Apps. Sorry, I remember there was a question about what are my favorite apps. Technology. Okay, so my favorite apps would be Era, which is basically I subscribe to I'm not sponsored, by the way. I subscribe to Era each month, and they are sighted agents who can assist with visual tasks, and they are vetted and they're trained especially for blind and visually impaired people in terms of orientation and mobility, and they're great. So I use that. I also use Blind Square, which again helps me. It's
like Squarespace.
Yeah, very, very similar to that. So and I also use Google Maps as well. So I use that. Oh gosh, it's on. What else do I use?
Seeing AI.
Press record, which is like a dictaphone on your phone, which I love. But I also use Audible to listen to books on. So I use kind of
Audible. Do not sponsor this channel. Why not? Sort it out, guys. But we're going to come back to apps. Okay, yeah. We've got a couple of things. So Patrick asks, again, it's like the sort of thing Ricky Gervais might do. So we're all up for that. Would you rather have full vision and live for 10 years, or stay blind and live to 100?
Stay blind and live to 100.
Would you?
Yeah. Who are is it?
Patrick?
Yeah. And you're probably thinking, wow, why? Why would
Patrick? By the way, I just have to ask you: are you subscribed, sir? Please tell us yes. You'd live to 100, yeah?
I would live to 100, and the reason why I would
telegram from the Queen, but you can't see it.
It's because I'm able to do all the things that I want to do. Yes, it's more challenging. Yes, it's more difficult. Yes, it can be really frustrating. But actually, I've learned to cope with my vision loss now, and I just feel I've had so many opportunities and I meet so many people, and actually I'm happy with who I am, so I need to accept that. And I've learned to live
half a life.
Yeah,
it's not though, is it? Right, Footy Nut Guy Steve asks, have you experienced driving yet? Is there any legal way to do that in the UK? I can explain the legal way you can do that in the UK. You can do on any private land whatsoever. It's only an offence to drive otherwise in accordance with a licence, or in other words, not having a licence, on either a highway or an area to which the public has access at the material time through payment or otherwise to drive on. But if it's a private land not open to the public, you can do that. Hey?
I did drive down private roads.
Private roads, but they were roads, yeah?
They're roads.
All right, I have to tell you now, you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when question something which you later line in court. Anything you do say will be taken down and given evidence. Do you know the answer to that, by the way?
What?
Right, so have you ever driven a car? Do you know what the answer is?
What?
No comment. I'm going to speak to a lawyer.
Yeah.
I've never done it on a UK road.
And as I was saying, it was, it was all private. There was no.
Be careful. You are now under caution.
Yeah. Anyway, and so it was a real. I loved the experience. It was fantastic, and I actually did it quite well. I actually did a hill start, which is quite difficult, but I felt liberated. And I actually did have my cane outside the window just because I was only going very slow, just to feel the road and where I was going.
Yes. Okay. In the meantime, Patrick says
great.
you probably be a better driver than anyone else on the road. I've done it on Bovingdon Field in the UK quite legally, and I'm not under caution, so I could be making this up. But assuming that I'm not, on the basis that I'm not under caution, I accidentally, with somebody who was in the passenger seat of a car, and it's a left-hand drive one, who told me it was a private road, said, "Oh, stop a moment. There's a motorcyclist coming." I said, "What are they doing here?" They said, "You're actually on the road." But again, for the legal niceties there, I might have just been making it up so it cannot be used in evidence against me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's in Romania. Right. Other question. Can you do a dance like last time? Well, let's think about that towards the end,
What was that,
Ruby.
sorry?
You did dance like you
Oh
did
yeah, okay.
We'll have a
yeah.
think about that, but probably right. Earlier, Ruby said that you are green. I'm not sure if you so the camera's over here, so hopefully it shouldn't be too
I'm
green.
green.
No, I'm sure you're not actually green, but anybody can. Oh, maybe it's because I pressed the autofocus button when I do it again.
Oh.
And because just
okay. Green.
So you have about 10 people watching at the moment.
That's fantastic.
This is Blind Girl Vlogs. Do spread the word. It's not just for this live stream, but spread the word generally, because it's how more people see the content.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Nothing wrong with growing. Do you know a joke, Siobhan?
I do.
Go on.
I'm gonna do the blind girl. I'm gonna do the blind joke. Okay.
You've got Ruby watching.
Yeah, but she might not get it.
Oh dear, you probably shouldn't.
Okay. How do you spot a blind man in a nudist colony?
I can't see. Ruined that one for you, didn't I?
It's not hard. Brilliant. Gotta love them.
Sorry, I'm just going to move that tumbleweed out of the way.
Okay.
So Apple Watch is another thing that works quite well, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. And I have one, but I never.
You don't use yours.
I don't use it as much as I should do. I really should do, because
again,
it's really useful, especially when using Google Maps. It will vibrate left, right, and it will give you those kind of like in the moment.
Jump up and down. I'm going to move the focus away from the camera to see if Ruby and everybody else can see what the wider picture is like. So maybe you're going to be able to dance a bit later. But I'm curious what people can see, because hopefully you can see the lighting kit. You may or may not be able to see the lighting kit. You should probably see the window. You can probably see the desk as a whole. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to move the lens all the way back into you. It should already be autofocused, but I will press the button again anyway. In terms of other pieces of technology, I do have a Braille watch, which is pretty cool. So basically I can lift up the screen of the watch, and then I can feel the tactile bumps underneath. So again, if you're going out of an evening and you don't necessarily want a big clunky watch that doesn't look really nice with an outfit, I would just stick on my Braille watch, so it looks a lot more delicate. You're a queen, not green, by the way. Sorry, Ruby. What? Queen, not green. Oh, sorry. Green. I'm listening in my ear. You have an offer here from Patrick to say if it's possible, you can take the controls of a plane. Are you licensed to fly, Patrick? If you are, and depending on the license you hold, I've done it. Then you can do it. I flew in the UK in a US registered aircraft. I won't give its registration. I do know it, but it was a Piper PA-28, and I flew it over Essex. I flew it by someone licensed both with a federal US license and also a UK license, but it was a November call sign, not a Golf. And it felt brilliant, because the funniest thing about it, I had the yoke. I wasn't joking. I had the yoke, and let's go a bit left, and we're over the sea, and sort of over some houses as well. Apparently, not that they weren't in the house. And it's right, turn left a bit. So it feels like we're over about more 45 degrees. And the pilot said, "Yeah, you are." I said, "Should we be?" He said, "Not really." It felt so cool. I've flown a glider. Have you? Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, I love it. Honestly, it's so nice. And then as soon as you open the window, it's silent. And it was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I would definitely do that. It's something that I really want to do for this channel is do that. Yeah. So take people with. Actually, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I could do it from my phone. I could go live. You shot, well, you are going live. No, but from my actual phone, my mobile phone. Yeah. You've shot guns in the past, including in Prague, and you've scared the bloke. I have. I love clay pigeon shooting.
Not very good at it, but you know, shoot holes in the sky and all that. It's good fun.
Patrick says that he is indeed licensed, and the PA-28 is a very fine aircraft. It is. It was from about 1969.
Yeah.
What do you fly, Patrick?
Wow,
Footy
that'd
night
be
guy?
so cool.
Okay. Have you described what's on your bucket list? Says footy night guy. I'd like to know how to operate this kit as well as you do if I could, but other than that, I'm very unambitious. I'd like to go to the States because I've not done that. I've been around quite a bit. You know what? If I die tomorrow, I've done lots of things in life. I can't complain. Is that a good thing? I think.
Yeah. I would like to travel around the world.
Around the world.
I'd love to be able to travel around the world, go and see so many different cultures and people, and just explore this beautiful, beautiful world that we all live in. So I'd love to do that. I'd love to travel. I'd love to do wing walking. That's something I'd really, really want to do. I've done a parachute jump. That was fantastic. But wing walking would be something awesome to do. I'd love to bungee jump through the Grand Canyon. That would be fantastic.
Just based on something you've said, I'm going to ask, parlez-vous français, anybody? Can you tell me what je me dis quel bon mérier means? Just to say a little bit of what Siobhan said a little bit earlier. We've got people replying here. We've got Samuel E. Have you travelled to other countries? Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Sammy and Chip, my current and former guide dog, have worked in about the same actually, but about 12 or 13 countries.
Yeah. So
there's a video on here. Okay, Sammy and Lee, check it out. Marty's first flight, which is Siobhan's guide dog, to Bucharest.
So that was really good actually.
Escultat, Vorbic, no, scusatemi. Vorbic Romanashti. Unterjet Romanashti.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
So what was I? I
You
was
said
saying something, and then I was saying something.
He's been to different countries.
Yes. Marty's been to Romania, but I've been to many different countries in Europe. But I haven't really. Yes, we've been to Morocco, and the floorboards are creaking. Sorry if you can hear that. But I haven't been to the States or anything, which I really want to do. And yeah, I haven't really been that far in terms of flying, but I'd love to.
You've been to Africa?
Been to Africa.
Africa.
Yeah,
we have, right.
Yeah.
So apparently Footy Nut Guy was on Newsround in 1987. What were you doing? He was telling them they were using the wrong jibs. Now, what you want to do, right, is you want to throw in a 416 mic on the top of that. Now, what were you on, sincerely, Steve, what were you on Newsrounds about? I'd love to know. If you did a massacre or anything, probably just lie to us, but I'd be curious what you've done. And Patrick says that he's training to fly commercial jets. Fantastic.
Are you really? Oh, wow.
And what else does he say?
The training's going well.
Yeah, I think so.
That would be fabulous.
Although Corona is causing delays. Yeah, because an awful lot of jets are wrapped up. There's some great videos by Mentor Pilot here on YouTube who speaks about how they're going to bring those planes back to life, aren't there?
Oh, well, I hope they do. So I'm not going to be able to get very far without it, am I? I'm going to have to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's what I want to do. Swim the channel.
You what?
Swim the channel.
Okay. In the meantime, Steve went on with the charity by a former name that's now the Scope Society.
Oh, okay.
And it was shown on Friday, but he didn't see it. He's on a train home. Steve, did you ever see it, or is it something you were on and you don't ever know? And the reason being, I would suggest if that's the case, you could contact Newsround and see if they can help you out, or if you contact the BBC switchboard, and you could ask them, because certain people should have access to it. If you ask them really nicely, then they would probably be able to help you out. So you're all tuned to Blind Girl Vlogs here on YouTube. It is 7:30 p.m. We're going to carry on for just a little bit longer. If anybody's got any questions about blindness, visual impairment, stick it there. One thing that I think is helpful, Siobhan's sitting at a desk here now, and in front of you you've got computers, microphone, you've got a teddy bear, you've got lots of teddy bears, but it's a good solid workspace, and I would say spend time doing your training, because you're going to get on really well with a visual impairment. Because you're right, essentially, if you used to be able to see something, now you can't. Yeah, it's going to be different. So you need to bear that in mind.
And also, actually, this is why I think it's really good to reach out to to charities, because they're going to be able to give you lots more advice with, you know, obviously your own specific requirements. In terms of like a keyboard, you might want a color contrast keyboard, which, you know, will enable you to be able to see the keys more clearly. So there's so many different things that, you know, that would benefit you. So yeah, recommend chatting to those people. But these are just my own kind of like it is my own experience and what I use.
Okay, a couple of questions here. Patrick, when's the next live stream? Well, this one's going to carry on for a little while. Don't disappear just yet.
It's been great to have you, Patrick. Thanks so much for your questions.
It is. It really is. You know, happy
maybe
landings.
Try flying the plane blind.
Yeah. Hopefully Patrick can see. So yeah, I mean, probably next weekend.
Yes.
Footy Night guy Steve asks, can we get Kelsey the details for news round so they can contact them? I think I'd have to refer you, Steve, to Google on that one. Because without saying where I work, it probably wouldn't be the done thing for me to start digging that one out for you. Sorry to be a bore on that one, but if you Google is your friend. And then what else? So we got Patrick. Are you religious? Well, we might not go there on this particular one, if that's okay, Patrick. We did get married in a church, but I think that's one of those things that, for the sake of the other viewers at the moment, maybe you can follow up on that one at some point.
Yeah, definitely follow me on Twitter if you're on there, or Instagram at Blind Girl Vlogs, and send me a DM, and I'll be more than happy to kind of answer those questions.
Then we've got, when's your BD? Does that mean your birthday?
My birthday, yeah, my birthday's in December.
No, you don't want to say exactly because you're online.
No,
Ruby,
I said December. I'm not saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's the dates of birth.
when.
I always lie about my date of birth online for the most part. Yeah. Unless it's where's your B day, and then we don't have a B day.
Oh no, we don't.
Which
I
is
think that'd be. I'd love one actually.
a B day. Oh, please, let's not think of no. What? Why? No. Just,
shower or bath?
what?
Someone said to me, "Do you prefer showers or baths?" And I like both, because sometimes I like to relax in the bath with candles and bubbles.
Blue shower, red shower, gold shower. No,
but sometimes I like a shower, because, you know, sometimes if you've been to the beach and you just want to have a quick wash off.
So Patrick says, okay, no problem, great stream. Hey, listen, I tell you what, do ask there, Patrick. What I was going to say, have you subscribed? Sorry to press on that, but it's important we need. Well, I hope so. Great stream, because you'll get notified if you hit the bell. Francesca, yeah, I meant birthday. Fantastic. As long as it's not where's your B-day.
Yeah, mine's in December, and I know yours is coming up, Roo.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
do you know what? We're carrying on for a few more minutes. Steve has messaged again. He says, no video on how to use a B-day. No, not on this channel, though Siobhan does have an OnlyFans. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. He's already looking. We had another one. 1 minute. Is there? So he'd also asked, is there going to be a tutorial on voiceover on Mac? Possibly,
Yes.
but I'm just wondering whether I could do that as well as the videos that are already out there. But Final Cut and that could be good.
Yeah. I think I will do one on voiceover, though. I will do the
Patrick
basics
subscribed.
for those people
Thank you, Patrick.
who may need it. Because I think it's always interesting. So yeah, it would be tutorial on basic voiceover.
Patrick has subscribed. Thank you, Patrick.
Awesome.
That's magic. Ruby, do you go with Marty everywhere? Well, not the toilet.
Although he would if he could.
You are?
Yes, I do take Marty everywhere. He comes into shops, restaurants, but obviously at the moment we're restricted because we're locked down. But he does come to everywhere. Well, all places. Hospitals, dentists, on the trains, tubes, taxis. Yeah, on holiday.
So, guys, just as we do our last few minutes, so by all means, carry on asking questions. Siobhan, you can be followed how else on what other platforms?
I can be followed on Instagram at Blind Girl Vlogs, TikTok at Blind Girl Vlogs, Twitter at Blind Girl Vlogs. So go and subscribe and follow me on all of those. Because I do other live streams over on Instagram, and I share different things on Twitter. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed to all of my social media. And the reason to be subscribed as well is you might be in for a chance when I reach 1,000 subscribers
to win a $5. No, sorry.
To big giveaways, and they are really good giveaways.
Excellent. Patrick's watching in Cyprus, by the way.
Wow, Cyprus!
I don't know about
awesome.
Cyprus. In Greece, which is not too far, there are 2 guide dogs schools called Lara Guide Dogs is one of them. Can't remember the other one. Francesca Wyatt says, I can only follow on TikTok. Well, that might be an age thing as well. Steve says, what are you looking forward to when most things open up again?
Freedom.
Freedom. No, I personally have been out and about working in central London and things, so I'm not that fast. I think I wouldn't mind going to the theatre at some point.
Oh my
because-
gosh, I want to live. That's what I want to do. I mean, I am living now, but I think once we're able to, I'm just going to be everywhere. I want to travel. I want to go and see my friends and my family. To go shopping, to get a new wardrobe full of clothes. Yes, fashion.
Steve's is going to London. I have to do that all the time.
Oh,
I'd like to not go to London. I'm off to London to see the
I want to
Queen.
do so many more adventures. Some content here for you guys as well. Got some interviews coming up. I've got some mini celebrities coming up. So stay tuned.
Oh, me.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
We've got 1 minute.
Cool.
What have we got? Patrick, who says, you'll get that's very nice of him. You'll get 100,000 subscribers if you keep uploading over time. Well, that's the hope, Patrick. Basically, we need in the first instance 1,000, and she's not too bad off that one. But the reason you need them is it's not the number per se. It's the more people that see things, and of course, the more subscribers someone has, the YouTube algorithms are more inclined to push them out, and then more people subscribe, and all sorts of very nice things like that. Other messages here, we've got Ruby. How many subs do you got? If you got, do not know. Yes, we know, but we won't divulge right here at the moment. Steve, I'm sure you can text Siobhan. She'll tell you later. Steve wants to ask. He's often finding out if something or other street. Forgive me, sorry, I'm just listening. I don't know. In some street is a typical street in London. The thing about streets in London is they're all completely different to others. Downing Street. Well, I've been to Downing Street many times for work. It's just it's not a typical street in London. No, it's a closed off street. It's been closed off since the IRA attempted to lob mortars at John Major's door. Then I won't discuss the security features there, but it's just a normal street that's got gates on it. But outside, it's very different. North, South, East, and West London's very different. Hey?
And I could actually go down there because I have a press card, so I'm lucky.
Well, if you have, and you said that on a live stream, and they're in date, well, it might get taken off you. So
no, it's not in date.
Yeah. But in the meantime, Patrick's going to keep an eye out for the next stream. Yeah, the notification bell's the thing for that, Patrick. So even if you're subscribed, it will tell you. It's probably going to be next weekend.
Yes, I'm hoping to do that
at this point. But you have got 10 people watching.
That's fabulous.
Let's do a couple more blind type questions, okay? So if you've got any final questions, pop them in the box below. We're carrying on for probably another 5-10 minutes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, do you find, because I do, that some of the technology that we use or have used, some of it just gets a little bit hard to keep up with because keyboard shortcuts sometimes change?
Yeah, that's the thing that I find really, really difficult is new software comes out all the time, whether you're looking at Teams or Zoom, and you have to learn these shortcut keys to be able to navigate the piece of software. So I feel like I'm constantly learning and either Googling or having training, and my memory, oh goodness, it should be like a sponge, but I do forget because there is so much to remember in terms of how to use certain things with the shortcut keys on the keyboard. So I can actually interact with the screen. So yeah, I find that a little bit tricky. Hence the reason I love my smartphone, my iPhone, because apps are so easy. It's just I don't have to worry about it too much. I just run my finger over the screen and it talks. Double tap, away to go. But with JAWS, you are having to use a keyboard.
How long?
Yeah.
Have you been using prosthetic eyes? Ask Samuel Lee.
Oh. Okay, so I had my first prosthetic eye back in 2014, and then I waited 4 years to have the left one done back in 2018. And the reason why I left the gap is because I'm a little bit vain. No, it's not really because I'm a little bit vain. It's because I wanted to make sure that it was the right thing for me to do. Yeah, I probably wish I had them done. In hindsight, looking back, I wish I'd had them done both at the same time. because I was in a great deal of pain for those 4 years in between.
Patrick says this is the first stream I've watched of yours, so I'm impressed. Well, it's technically the second, but that we've done. It could technically also be the 7th because there are a couple of full starts, but I now know what the problems were. We've got another couple of things here as well. So Ruby, I'm not sure whether you've discussed your site with Ruby in the past, but I think she's asking whether you can see your phone if you hold it up really close.
No, so I can't Roo. I have like no sight at all, so I can't see anything. So obviously these are prosthetic eyes and they're plastic, which you've seen. I think you might have seen before when I've taken them out. And my phone has voice over on it, so I only listen to it by voice. So I have to go by people's descriptions of what people look like, or rely very much on speech.
Will you do another preview video, asks Footy Night Guy, before the next live stream? This is the most fun I've had. 1 second, I'm just going over this. Apart from, 1 minute. 1 second. I can't get who that is. Something or other on radio. You can come back to that. Possibly is the answer to that one. It's really great that you're enjoying the live stream because we've been able to get that hooked up. Steve again says Kelsey is getting her stitches out tomorrow. That's fantastic.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Ruby says, "Oh, okay. Can she get a higher? That's good. That's what you got to do, okay. Right, Steve? Can you sense where you are by air pressure? Sound shadows.
Yes, sound shadows. I live by sound shadows. So this is something that really kind of sighted people. I was like, my gran, bless her. She when I'm walking down the street with her, I was like, oh, what's we're going past something really tall, or what's that car doing there? And she gets confused.
Yeah, but you didn't say that car. You're saying what's that Austin Maestro doing with index number out ABC 123?
And it's because the air pressure, the sound shadows change, so things sound a lot more enclosed. If you're going past a high building, for example, or a fence, things don't sound as open as they do. So if a car's coming up, or if there's a bin, I can usually tell because the sound changes. So yeah, people do get a little bit confused.
Quick joke, Venison's dear, isn't it? We're still live streaming. You're watching Blind Girl Vlogs. I think we should do a stand-up comedy night one night if people would watch that.
Possibly.
I think, Patrick, if you're watching, tell more people about this.
Yeah.
Have a look at some of the videos. I have to say, these are a little bit anarchic and they go on longer than many because they're a live stream. But if you have a look, if you search Blind Girl Vlogs and Borough Market, the oldest food market in London, I'm looking forward to answer that question, to getting back up there.
Yes,
is one of the things. So we've got Steve is saying, can you get a sense of where you are? Sorry, 1 second. Oh, no, sorry, it's the same one. It said in my ear. I thought it was saying where you are right now. Yes, we're in the middle of Covent Garden Market. Why do you ask?
Yeah.
No, we're I'm sorry.
The only thing, actually saying that, the only thing that I find really disorientating is if I'm speaking to someone and then I turn around quite quickly, I can actually get quite disorientated and end up going the wrong way down a street. And I've done that before. Thanks to technology, I can now just ask Siri when it works for me. Where am I? And it can tell me, so I can kind of get back on track. So that's what I love my smartphone for as well, is being able to navigate and be confidently lost.
Confidently lost.
Yeah, don't worry about getting lost now because technology is advanced, and you can just get an Uber and way to go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, at the start of Blind Girl Vlogs, we said we would discuss IT post sight loss, and we've explored some of the options from speaking to sensory support services at your local social services. If you've got a good sight loss society, and do your research on that, I've come across brilliant and some shocking ones. Your local blind society can possibly give you some advice on that one. Ask them some basic questions like, do they understand sighted guiding, and if they don't, maybe miss that one out. RNIB, Royal National Institute of Blind People. Guide dogs have technology services. Thomas Pocklington Trust is another one. You could, of course, ask at Blind Girl Vlogs, because there's all sorts there. We've discussed some of the technology that you can use as well, from PCs to Macintosh, or Apple Mac as we call it, for the last 233 years. From Perkins Brailers that look like they're from the 1950s, because they are, and they are fairly unchanged. We've spoken about the fact that you can use Braille and note takers and mobile telephones, and all of these things are available to people who are losing their sight, have lost their sight, and an awful lot of equipment is available out of the box. You can buy yourself an Apple Mac tomorrow, today, whenever. You can even use one that's been knocking about for a few years and hit the Command F5 keys, and that will turn on VoiceOver for free. You can use a Windows machine. It's got a very basic screen reader if you hit Windows and U to get to the narrator function or download a screen reader. We'll have another look at a couple of questions, but what are your reflections on this vlog, Blind Girl Vlogs?
I think it's good. I think we've had a really good discussion about all things blind related, and also like technology and IT and how you can make the most out of what's out there, really. And technology changes so much. So definitely keep up to date with what's happening. And Sight Village, like I say, they have loads of different companies there. So definitely Google and see when they're going to be live streaming on YouTube, because I think it would be great, especially if you want to know what technologies are out there. Yeah, I just think it's been a really good one for people to kind of think about for their own individual needs. And this is, yeah, a bit about my experience of technology and what I've used it for. But definitely look at like training if you want to learn how to use JAWS or any other screen reader. You've got open source screen readers as well. So yeah, just do a little bit of research, and hopefully one of those will kind of work for you.
Any other questions, pop them in. We've had another 4 people join us recently, so we are actually going to carry on for a little while because we're just cool like that.
Wow.
Free screen reader that we referred to. So Steve asked, what's the free screen reader? Well, Narrator is the one that's built into Windows that you can set up any Windows PC with. VoiceOver comes loaded on any Mac, but you can download non-visual desktop access NVDA for free because it's open source, and other screen readers such as JAWS can be purchased. We've got a 59 guy asks, could he have this plugged on the radio ahead of the next live stream? I don't know, Steve, could you? Why not? That'd be lovely. You've got other message here for you've got Patrick, who says, looking forward to the next stream, but don't disappear yet, guys, because we're going to do a couple of generic blind questions. Pop them in the box below. And actually, we've got, yeah, sorry.
And actually, we're looking at doing themed live streaming. And obviously, we're going to, well, obviously, you can ask any questions at the same time, but let me know if that's something you're interested in. Let me know what sort of things you would like me to talk about, what themes you would be interested in, and whack them in the comments, because yeah, I think it's quite nice to have a theme to work towards.
Renee saying out, I think it's Renee, forgive me, says hello guys, I think.
Hi.
Steve
hey.
Saying tech quality has been great due to the hiccups at the start. Steve, that's because we were connected to the wrong live stream point on the Wi-Fi, and then because I tried to get back on very quickly, we didn't have the microphone set up, but we've now got it. We've got Ruby saying that you can't be here next stream, but at the weekend because you're at Dad's. Well, it depends when the stream is, of course, Ruby, or you can watch them afterwards.
You can watch them afterwards.
Then look at you guys go. I think it's am I saying Rune? I'm saying it wrong. And then you've got, this will be having so many people, they say.
Oh, thank you.
Where in the UK do you live? Well, about 35 miles north of London. And that works. And I'm cheating because my day job is in broadcasting, so talking away is not an issue to me.
Yeah. Yeah, we live 25 minutes on the train.
19 from King's Cross.
Woo,
which is brilliant.
Gosh.
And the address is, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah. Questions about blindness. Let me ask you a question about blindness. Because, we've discussed this before. Yeah. In terms of what you can see, is it black? Is it total black?
I see. The thing is, I don't see anything, nothing. It's not even a color. So it's really hard to try and describe to people what I actually see for them to kind of comprehend and understand. But I just don't see anything. So it's like looking out of your elbow. There is nothing there. And before I lost all of my sight at 16, I had very limited vision in my right eye. I've never been able to see out of my left eye. So it was a very fragmented view of the world. I never really saw any detail. But yeah, now I don't see anything at all.
And the answer, Patrick, is where in the UK do we live? We live in Hertfordshire,
Hertfordshire,
which
yeah.
is the closest we're going to get for YouTube. But if you message, I'm sure we get there. Then we've got 1 second. I'm listening to this at the same time.
Okay.
I might have to come back to that. We've got Steve.
Cool. Hi.
Picture has just 1 second improved dramatically. Again, that might be your connection or ours. I don't know, Steve.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Nothing's moved. I haven't moved. I haven't done my dance yet.
No, let's just confuse people by going out and in and out and in. Let's make you dizzy. I'm just turning the lens left and right.
Don't they'll be like getting seasick. Or if you're
because it's a live stream, that might not have been smooth, but it is a proper camera. So no iPhone could do that, Steve. Because you was talking about that earlier. So you've got 1 second. I know a lot of people who live in, forgive me, Barnet. Now that's sort of North London.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So yeah, not too far.
It's not too far away.
I mean, we can get into town about as quickly because the trains are very fast.
So we're lucky. So that's why I think it's really good for us in terms of like living out, because it's quicker for us to get a train from here to get into London than it is for some people living in London.
So on that note, I think right for a start, Ruby wanted you to dance. So let's have a bit of a dance. All right, you're going to dance?
What, should I sit down?
Stand up and dance.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
And I'll have a look at questions. You
well,
do
am I
that.
actually going to stand up?
Yeah.
Isn't that going to throw out my autofocus?
No, don't worry. It might do. But
Okay.
dance.
Okay.
Da 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 da. And now sit back down, back to where you are, where the microphone is.
Okay.
And hopefully that's still going to be on your face.
Yeah.
So guys, we are going to wrap it up quite shortly. Do subscribe. Tell people about the stream because we think it's quite important to do that. We've got another message.
Follow me on social media because you can ask me those questions there on Twitter at Blind Girl Vlogs and TikTok at Blind Girl Vlogs. And I can answer questions.
You
there.
carry on for a minute because I have to go to
Instagram.
the physical computer and start preparing to.
Okay, what was the last question? Sorry.
Oh, ow! Have I earned a back massage?
No.
Why not? Ow!
Because you can go to a beautician's when they're open.
Well, that's not going to help me tonight, is it? Right. On that note, guys, we're going to end the stream.
You said someone had a question.
I don't think so, but let me have a look.
Oh, I thought you said.
No, I'll have a look. Let me have a look. If any last questions, pop them here. 1 second. Keep here. I'll have a look. Stay with me.
Yes.
Before you go, can we see Marty? Well, it's not easy to do that because if we do that, he'll knock the camera over.
He probably will, actually.
I'm really sorry to say.
But I will have him in another.
I could tell you anything. Apparently, I'm trying to work out what that one is. So forgive me. Let's have, okay. Tired. Your eyes look amazing. Gonna help me when I get my new one. I hope it looks like them. That's nice, yeah. So that's from
Thank you.
that's from Rooney as ON11. Francesca.
Awesome.
Okay, it's fine. Fantastic. So, guys, do check out some of the other videos.
Yeah, definitely.
Check out Borough Market. It's one of our favourites.
Yeah, that is. And all the other travel videos that I've done Edinburgh, Bath, York, and I've done the most.
By the way, only 3 of you have liked this so far. Everyone watching, how about giving us a like? Can I get a higher?
And the most embarrassing.
Can we have some more? I'm going to press. I would like people to hit the like button.
Yeah.
Can you hit the like button? It helps the algorithms. It really helps the algorithms.
If you like me, that is. If you don't, just put the dislike. It's fine.
No, hit the like. So we're still on. We've got 4 likes. Keep going, guys.
Yeah,
keep going. There's 10 people currently watching.
Ooh,
so can we at least get it a bit higher? You've got 5 likes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, come on. Let's keep this going.
Come and share the love.
You've got to share this video or other videos. But we've only got 5 likes so far. It means a lot. She's going to smile, right, darling?
Yes.
Do stony face. Right. Next time there's a like, you're going to smile, yeah? Stony face. Look really irritated. Go on. One more like. She's going to smile.
Oh, God,
one more like.
Stop it.
No. Okay. Well, so somebody's broken in and they killed your cat. That's not good, is it?
Naughty.
All right. Okay. We're going to go and get a puppy.
All of you for watching and for your questions and for subscribing and sharing the love. And yeah, it's been great. So
You've got another like anyway now. So you've got 6 likes.
Yes!
But it does. Let me check for any more comments. It really does help, because it helps with the algorithm. So
it does. And
all seriousness.
The reason why I do this channel is to spread awareness, to spread positivity about blindness. And
oh, sorry, I have to say.
Yeah.
So Rooney is called Jenny, and Franny says hiya.
Hiya.
And then you've got I've hit the like too, says Ruby. That's
Oh,
fantastic.
thanks, Rue.
That's brilliant. Bye, Queen. Hope to see you soon, says Ruby, which I love, by the way, because honestly, I thought that was green. She is the dancing green.
I'll do that
Are
next
you on the list for a new guide dog? No, because we both got guide dogs at the moment.
Yeah, so I Marty, I trained back
Team
in
Vance says hi.
2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert! I won't say a second name because he'll be funny rightly about it. How you doing, Robert? Robert is Team Vance, isn't he?
I think so.
Is that you, Robert? Is that you? Is that you?
What was I saying?
People can rewatch this live stream later.
I trained with Marty back in 2019, so he's got a long way to go. Hey, Mart.
Yeah, and I won't be reapplying for till the end of next year.
Yeah. So
people have been brilliant, by the way, watching away.
Thank you so much. It's been great having you here. And
can we have one more like before we go?
Have one more like.
Can we have one more like?
Put in the comments below, and I can answer them when I'm not on this live stream.
I'll have a look at any more questions. One more like, and then we'll...
yeah.
Can I have a like? Hi.
It's great. It's and this is why I love doing this channel, because hopefully I've helped one, if not more, people about.
Siobhan, before we go, would you tell people what that microphone is you've got in front of you, and whether it's a condenser or a dynamic mic?
What is it? It's a microphone.
Okay, it's a condenser mic. It's a Rode NT1.
Oh, okay. And yeah, the door keeps banging.
I know, it's me. It's when I move about like that.
Yeah, it's really irritating.
Oh no, sorry. I'm having fun. And I'm checking any final comments. We have got comments. 1 minute. We have got. I love Marty, says Ruby, which is brilliant. Thank you too, says Jenny. It is a singing mic, says Ruby. Well, it's not necessarily the one I've got is a singing mic. The problem is I can't sing. What song can I not sing, darling?
No, I want people to stay.
No.
Like, I don't want them to start disliking.
I never thought it would happen with me and a girl from Clapham out on the windy common. That night I ain't forgotten, where she dealt out the rations with some or other Russians. She said, "You are a lady." Perhaps she said, "Maybe." Yeah, but you can sing on yours. What could you sing?
No, I'm not.
Can you do Jar of Farts?
No.
Who do you think you are?
Right. Any more comments?
Ruby says, "Ha." She wants you to sing. She wants you to do Jar of Hearts. She says.
I've got a two.
Don't worry, Ruby. We'll go along with this. Jar of Hearts.
Really, I don't know the words.
Jar of Hearts. Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? Running round the. I don't know the words.
That's really good. Go closer to your mic for this one.
I don't know the words.
Who do you think you are? Going around breaking hearts.
I don't listen.
Bit closer.
No, I don't.
Right up. Oh, Ruby says, yes, please, do more.
No, I don't know the song.
Who do you think you are? Running round stealing hearts. Do that.
No, it's not.
Who do you think you are? Go for it.
Who do you think you are? Running round leaving heart. No, I don't even know the song. I can't even know. It's terrible.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we got 59 guy. Did Sean used to be one of those singers that closed out pubs at closing times? See what you're saying. I've actually had a #2 UK chart single. I've been in a #2 UK chart single. Is that true or is that false? Put in the comments below and I will tell you. And I'll tell you whether that's the case. That's really, really good, says Ruby. She wants you to sing something else. What do you know? What songs do you know?
I don't.
7 likes.
Do you know what? Next week I will do something. I will.
Oh, thank you.
Look at a song.
What about? My tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why.
Next week I'll do a song.
Got out of bed again. The morning cloud raised up my window.
Hey,
here we are. What about this? And I can't see it all. And even if I could, it'd all be great. Put your pictures on the wall. It reminds. Go on.
I once went on a date with Ed Sheeran. True or false?
That would be perfect. But okay, so we're like, do you know Driver's License by Olivia?
I love that song, but
you know
I love that song.
Where is Prince Harry? We're being asked. He's in California, isn't he? He'll be riding shotgun. Or is that a song?
Prince Harry.
Where's Prince Harry? He's in California. Yeah. I'm sure he is. I hope the song was. I don't know.
License. I do like that one. I need to kind of look at the lyrics.
Hole in my shoe. You can get that fixed. Cobblers. We'll fix that. Me Too, says Ruby. Is that a song?
Yes. driver license. Well, that's I love.
Could
that.
I do Kevin Bloody Wilson song?
No, you can't. We've got young ears.
They came down from Ikathera in a burnt
So,
out
any
blue
more
FJ.
questions before I go and take some paracetamols before my tooth explodes?
Have you given yourself that much of a headache?
Yeah.
Have you subscribed, guys? Right, guys, listen, we are going to dash.
Thank you so
Before we
much
do,
for that.
though,
Yeah.
just a reminder, so you're doing all right in likes. You got 7 likes, but there are 9 people watching at this
That's
moment in
cool.
time. So if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Tell people this is brilliant. This has been going on. We're going to take it to 1 hour 25 exactly.
Wow.
29 seconds left of
Thank
this
you
live
so
stream.
much to those of you who have stayed
Subscribe,
on and
hit the bell.
subscribed, and yeah.
And what would you like to say in your 21 seconds remaining?
Thank you so much for your love and support, and for those people
17.
who have subscribed.
50.
I love you all so much. Yeah, hit the notification bell. So
Keep
when I
talking
upload
to time
new
11,
content,
10, 9,
and I will see
8,
you in my
7,
next video and my
6,
next live stream
5, 4,
next weekend.
3,
so stay
2,
tuned.
1.
Girl Vlogs. Love
And we're
you.
out. No, nearly. Now we're out. We have to actually do end.